3 years ago, Anthony Edwards was a young player with incredible potential. Today, he's one of the most exciting stars in the NBA, but his rise wasn't supposed to happen this quickly. Before the All-Star games, the massive contracts, and the highlight dunks, there was a kid from Atlanta who had already experienced more loss than most people could imagine. This is the story of how Anthony Edwards became one of basketball's biggest stars. Anthony Edwards grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. From a young age, sports were everything to him. He played both football and basketball, and for a while, football was actually his first love. But basketball eventually took over. Edwards wasn't just talented, he was explosive, fast, powerful, and incredibly athletic. Even as a teenager, he had something that coaches couldn't teach: confidence. He believed he belonged, and that confidence would eventually take him from Atlanta to the biggest stage in basketball. But Edwards' journey wasn't just about basketball. He lost his mother at a young age, and not long after, he lost his grandmother as well. Those losses changed him. Basketball became more than just a game. It became an escape, a way to keep moving forward. And instead of letting those moments break him, Edwards used them as motivation. He kept playing, he kept improving, and eventually he became one of the most highly rated young players in the country. Then came the 2020 NBA Draft. The Minnesota Timberwolves selected Anthony Edwards with the first overall pick, and suddenly, everything changed. He was no longer just a talented kid from Atlanta. He was an NBA player, but his rookie season wasn't perfect. There were flashes of greatness, mixed with inconsistency. Some people wondered if Edwards would actually become the superstar everyone expected him to be. But there was one thing you couldn't ignore: the athleticism, the confidence, and the mentality. Then everything started to click. Edwards became stronger, more confident, and more dangerous. He wasn't just finishing at the rim anymore. He was hitting threes, creating his own shots, attacking defenders, and throwing down some of the most explosive dunks in the league. But the biggest change wasn't physical, it was mental. Edwards started playing like he knew he belonged, and the NBA started taking notice. The highlights became viral, the confidence became part of his identity, and suddenly, Anthony Edwards wasn't just a promising young player, he was becoming a superstar. And then came the playoffs. The stage got bigger, the pressure got higher, and Edwards looked like he belonged. He wasn't afraid of the moment. He attacked, he competed, and he played with the kind of confidence you normally see from veterans. Suddenly, the Timberwolves weren't just another young team, they were a team people had to take seriously, and Edwards became the face of it. The kid from Atlanta had turned into the leader of an NBA contender. But Anthony Edwards' story is far from finished. He's still young, and he's still improving. The three-point shot is getting better, his decision-making is improving, and his confidence seems to grow every season. The question isn't whether Anthony Edwards can become a superstar anymore. He already is one. The real question is, how far can he go? Because if there's one thing Anthony Edwards has already proven, it's that counting him out is probably a mistake, and this might only be the beginning.